Hi everyone, Gaye DeRusso with the Majestic Rider. So I wanted to show you the Tennessee walking horse that I've been working on that used to canter too fast. And what I've been doing is doing these walk or gait canter transitions. So I gait or walk and then I canter and then I go back to gaiting or walking. So before I was just doing a couple of steps, now I'm actually able to canter some circles with them. He's holding his lead well. Before, if you look back at his other video, he would swap his lead some in the back. But now he's better conditioned and he understands what I want. And now he's focused back on arena work, which he wasn't doing much of before. So now he can hold his lead pretty well. So this was his worst direction to the right. This was very fast and he would lose his lead. And now it's quite nice. It's much slower. And all I'm doing is, again, going around a couple of times, and then I come back to the walk or the gait. So he did very well there, so I stopped, gave him a break, and then off we went back into gaiting. And you'll see me slow down because that's when I'm setting him up for the canter and I'm just half halting and using my outside leg. So there I stopped him because he fell out of the canter and went into the trot. I want him to know that's wrong. So I stopped, back up. I didn't rest at all, and then half halt, outside leg, ask him for the canter again. As I'm cantering him, every time my seat hits the saddle, I do give a little half halt, a light half halt, to keep him from leaning on the bit or getting too forward, and then I lightly touch him with both legs as I do that so he knows to keep cantering. But when I ask him for the canter, I ask with just the outside leg. To keep him cantering, I give a light squeeze with both his legs, with both my legs when he is cantering. So now just back to gaiting. So when you do transitions like this, it helps a lot with horses that are anxious or scared to canter, because then they know they don't have to canter very far, they don't have to hold the lead very far, because it can be quite difficult for some of them, especially the pacey ones. So it's a great exercise to do where you just canter a couple of steps, walk or gait for a while, then canter a couple steps, and go back and forth between the gait and the canter, and then over time you add more and more steps and more circles until the horse is comfortable cantering slow and holding the canter. It's hard to hold the canter in a circle. They have to be well balanced. They have to be able to hold that lead in the front and the back, but it's a very good exercise to teach the horse. And if they can canter well in the arena slowly and in a circle, then it's not that hard for them to canter out on the trail. But again, many people just canter hills, and so you come in the arena and try to get the canter and the horses can't hold it because the hill helps them to collect and get on their back end. But in the arena, the rider has to help them and the horse has to be conditioned to hold the canter. So if you can, it's always best to teach the horse to canter in the arena, get it established, get them comfortable with it, and then practice it out on the trail. That way they know how to canter on both leads, which gives them a better endurance, and it will also make your horse much more balanced and even. If your horse always canters on one lead, they will get one shoulder bigger than the other because they're always leading with that one leg. And you're trying to keep your horse fit but as balanced as you can. So you try to canter both leads evenly, and if they have one bad lead, then you work on that more than on their good lead. And in time, both of their leads will be very good. So he's doing really well. This was his better lead to the left, but now I think his right is actually more comfortable in the saddle, although the left is very good. But I have been working on the right a fair amount, and that's what happens. Then the right gets better, then I work on the left a fair amount, then the left gets better, and you just go back and forth. You're trying to make your horse completely balanced, but he is doing so much better, so much better. And today I tried the Myler shank that's a little bit longer in his mouth because he is going to a new home, and I'm trying to test different bits. in case they try different things, so I can tell them which works best for them. But he does well in the snaffle as well as the short shank and the long shank, as long as you have very light hands. Overall, he did very, very well, and his canter is just going to keep getting better if they continue to practice it and practice it out on the trail. Oh, and I just love his gait. Hope that helps.